Welcome fans of Fate Grand Order, I am Avon, you are watching FGO Tips, and today I don't want to waste any time, so I'm jumping right in. This will be the 7th and final challenge event door. That sound means a noble phantasm was just used, in this case by Liz. It's going to happen a lot, but more on that in a minute. The 7th event was a two-parter and they were both very long, so I'm playing them back for you at 10 times normal speed. The first part is 2 waves of ghosts, which are all assassin class enemies. That means a party full of casters. Which means lots of arts cards and lots of noble phantasms. The problem is that casters tend to have a relatively low attack stat. To make matters worse, it's hard to find offensive NP casters, especially with single target NPs for bosses. Medea might be a good choice here, even as a 3-star servant. Unfortunately, I never leveled her up, so that wasn't actually an option for me. So I had to pull in 2 defensive casters to stall for time. And at first, Medea Lily's skills in Noble Phantasm do a great job healing, right up until she dies. Thankfully, I have Herc now. Not for long. But in all seriousness, this fight came down to slowly knocking down the boss's health bar. Halloween Liz has an AoE Noble Phantasm that doesn't do as much damage to a single target as I would have liked, so of course it took more than a few repeats. And I'm not gonna lie, some people die. But in the end, Tamamo saved the day. Now, what was the final score? Were you counting? Liz came in 3rd place with 5, Lily came in 2nd place with 6, and after a very tight race, Tamamo came in 1st place with 7. Enough of that though, here's the party for the main fight. By the way, this second part of the fight took almost as long as the first one, so I'm gonna play it back a little faster also, 2x this time. And I'll try to do commentary, we'll see if we can keep up with the speedy video. So this party is a little bit funky, but it was basically set up to try and delay his Noble Phantasm as long as possible. You can see he already used that Golden Rule skill there to boost his charge. I'm trying to knock that down whenever possible. And one of the main reasons I picked out Orion here, even though she's under-leveled, is that her Noble Phantasm has a chance to reduce his charge bar. There he goes again with the Golden Rule. And Tamamo has Curse to reduce Noble Phantasm charge, worked like a charm that time. And Waver also, his Noble Phantasm can reduce Edmond Dantes' charge bar as well. So this party was all about putting off Dantes' Noble Phantasm as long as possible. It has the added bonus of being an arts party, so I can get lots of chains, arts chains, fill up my gauges, and keep using my Noble Phantasms as much as possible. Because reducing the cooldown on that curse skill and all of Waver's skills, which boost everyone's NP, just kind of helps keep everything going. Here you can see his charge is full, but we're gonna knock it back down again. Oh, something I'll point out here. I'm about to use Waver's NP first and Orion's second. That's because Waver's NP reduces the charge flat out, and with overcharge has an increased chance to stun. But Orion's NP only has a chance to reduce the charge bar, and that chance goes up with overcharge. So I'd rather have her NP be at 200% in this particular instance. And there we go, so now we've knocked him down. Bought ourselves 2 more turns, as long as he doesn't keep using that Golden Rule skill over and over. And in this case he doesn't, so we're good for now. Another arts chain, get everyone's gauge filled back up again. By the way, while this is going through, I also put a couple of funky people in the support roles, and you could probably guess already actually. David, who I strategically have leveled up only to 30. Oh, here, by the way. He's full again, but we're gonna knock him back down with Waver. So still no Noble Phantasm yet for Dantes. Anyway, so David, only level 30, but 30 is just enough to ascend him and unlock his second skill, which is super useful. You're gonna see it here. in a minute when Dantes finally does fill up his charge, but I'm gonna put it off as long as possible. There we go, Tamamo with the curse skill. Knocked his charge bar down again. That has been so helpful this fight. All of the removing charge from his bar has been helpful this fight. Ooh, and there used Golden Rule. I'm not super confident that Orion's Noble Phantasm will knock it down, so yeah, I'm confirming that it just has a chance. So Gander to stun him just in case this doesn't work. And it ends up being the right call because, as you'll see, it doesn't quite pan out this time around. I'm also really not pleased with how low on health everyone is, and the stun gives me a minute to try and heal. I'm also noticing at this point that he still has a ton of health. His bar is finally full, so I'm gonna swap in David here. Harp of Healing, put evade on everybody, now I don't have to worry about that Noble Phantasm this time around. Anyway, yeah, he still has a ton of health, and I think I might have made a mistake picking Orion for this fight. Like I said, I love that her Noble Phantasm has a chance to knock down his charge, and I'm going to pause just for a moment here so we can all appreciate all those nice evades. Anyway, I love that she's arts-based, it works really well with this party, and I love that she does bonus damage versus males. Single target NP, everything's great, I need to finish leveling her up to 90 because her attack is just a little bit too weak right now. But yeah, I'm not doing a ton of damage with Tamamo or Waver, obviously, so he still has a bunch of health left. David is almost dead already, but that's okay, he's kind of served his purpose at this point. Even though he has a full gauge, I never quite get to use it. Unfortunately, when he goes down, Orion's going to come back, and I timed that real poorly because she has almost no health left. Thankfully, we are slowly wearing away at his health. He's almost halfway down at this point. But there is still a long way to go, and everyone needs a heal badly. I should probably charge my battery before I do these videos. That's the second time that's happened now. It's all about healing for the moment, even though it doesn't quite work out because Waver is about to go down here. Eesh. I know that eventually Orion's gonna die. I wasn't expecting Waver to go down first, but that's okay. So Mash is here for a very specific reason. With her skills, she can put focus on herself, boost her own defense, and even make herself invincible to damage for one turn, which is what I do here, focus and invincibility. Unfortunately, it slipped my mind that Dantes has that great Iron Determination skill, which he used perfectly here to go right through Mash's shield. Not gonna lie, that's pretty much where this fight starts to go off the rails for me. I was more or less on schedule, and I really needed Mash to buy me at least 1 or 2 turns here to heal up, and it just didn't quite work out. And despite Tamamo's best efforts to heal everyone up here, it's not quite enough because things continue to go downhill from here. The one nice thing I will say, of course, is that Okita can do more damage than Orion. It's nice to have higher level servant in here finally with some offense. And yeah, there goes Tamamo. I know Okita's going to be doing more damage from here on out, but Orion is fully charged, so I'm gonna take advantage of that Noble Phantasm. Unfortunately, I kind of screwed up there and forgot to use Punish the Unfaithful. That's the skill that does bonus damage against male targets, so yeah, I kind of wasted that one, but that Noble Phantasm does some damage, and then Orion goes down before I get a chance to use it again. Now, thankfully I'm in a pretty decent position here. I have evade, so I'm not going to get hit by Dantes' Noble Phantasm here, and a brave quick chain. Okita has that skill that boosts her quick card effectiveness, and between that and her Noble Phantasm, that round alone was pretty effective. All those nice, I love seeing all those evades too. Unfortunately, didn't quite get the Noble Phantasm again, only 94%. It was so close. Left him with 40,000 HP, just couldn't quite pull it off. I thought about quitting and restarting the fight right there, but unfortunately it was really late in the night. I started this with less than an hour left before the quest expired. And honestly, I was a little bit nervous if I quit that I wasn't gonna have time to get back in and run the quest again, so yeah, unfortunately I kinda had to cheese it and use the command cards here. It was seal. Did I say cards? Command seal. Had to use the command seal here. I'm actually kind of surprised this is the first time that I had to do that. I actually made it through all of the other quests without dying so far. And unfortunately, just couldn't keep the streak going. It does make me a little sad. I wish I had a chance to run through the whole fight again, but you know, it is what it is. This is the first fight that I actually died throughout the whole challenge, and that was pretty good. I'm a little sad that I couldn't quite make it through the last one. I really think if Mash's shield would have held out for one more turn, you saw at the end, just one more turn, that was all I needed, but it wasn't quite good enough. Anyway, thanks for bearing with me through all of that. I hope the commentary made any sense. I was trying to keep up with the 2x playback. I hope you all made it through all your fights as well, and as always, thanks for watching.